Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Sampson California Realty's live weekly internet radio show. Our show runs every Tuesday from 10 to 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. My name is Joseph Sampson. My co-host today, Diane Sampson, is up in LA getting some training. So, hi, Diane, if you're up there. I'm the broker-owner of Sampson California Realty, and we are located in gorgeous San Diego Coastal Del Mar, and today is going to be an exciting day for everyone. We've got a great show lined up for you. Before I introduce our cast today and our co-hosts, I just want to give you a quick market update on what we're seeing in Carmel Valley. Presently, we have 309 homes on the market. 217 of those properties are detached properties. We got 92 condos as well, for a total of 309 homes. We've maintained a pretty consistent inventory property for the last 2 months, roughly about 200 to 220 homes on the market in Carmel Valley on the detached. On average, on the attached properties, we're looking at probably about 100 homes. So still a very vibrant market. We're selling about 35 homes a month in Carmel Valley, and I wish we were selling all those, but that's all the sales in Carmel Valley for all the real estate companies. The average median price is $949,000, which is a pretty substantial number in any market, but certainly in this one, those are for detached properties. For condominiums, it's about $389,000. So again, a very, very vibrant market. The average price per square foot in Carmel Valley for a detached home is 348 square feet, and for a condominium, it's 328. So it's still a great time to buy properties, as you're going to find out today when we get into our show a little bit. If you haven't visited our website, we have a lot of other products that are on the market as well. You can check us out at www.scr-sandiego.com. So I think it's time to get into the show. What I'd like to do is make a couple of announcements. I've got a couple of guest co-hosts with me today, and our very own Phil Jones. Good morning, Phil.
Good morning, Joe.
How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
And he called me Joe. It's Joseph. I can't believe he did that. After all these years of trying to get Joseph, he calls me Joe. Can you believe this guy? This is Joe. I'm Joseph. I'm
That's
just working
right.
with. Hey, we're glad that you're here today. It's going to be a great show.
Well, I'm excited
Yeah.
to hear what Joe Combs has to say.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. And Sandy, good to have you as well.
Oh, wonderful to be here. I look forward to hearing more from Joe.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show. And ladies and gentlemen, Sandy and Phil are two of our great agents here at Sampson California Realty. And what I'd like to do is pass the mic to Sandy, and she's going to introduce our featured, or our guest today, Joe Combs. So Sandy, maybe I can allow you for you to make that introduction for us.
Yeah, I'd be very happy to introduce our guest speaker today. His name is Joe Combs, and I met him when I was buying my first property, so I have a great connection with him. But Joe Combs is a successful real estate investor in San Diego County, and he's going to share with us his 9-step game plan on how to use real estate in order to achieve your financial goals. Now, it's whether your aim is to build wealth or to just increase the rate of return in the cash that's really not really great out there right now. Joe's strategies will help you meet your goals. So that's Joe for you.
Fantastic. Well, Joe, welcome to the show.
I am delighted to be here.
And we have heard so much about you, and I have to say, it was interesting when I was asking, I think Diane was asking Sandy or Phil for the questions that you perhaps would like us to ask. She said you indicated you had mailed them to us, and I haven't seen that in a long time, but I appreciate that. I thought it was email. She said it's snail mail.
44-cent stamps still work.
It still works, absolutely. Well, Joe, maybe you could take a minute and tell us a little bit about who you are, and then we can get into the show. How's that?
I'm Joe Combs, and I started investing in apartments back in 1975 after I had sold a business that I had prior to that, a travel business. And the travel business was a lot of fun. I got to see all the world, but didn't make much money. And I heard about a fellow named Bill Nickerson who came to town. Bill Nickerson had written a book, How I Turned 1,000 into $1 million in real estate in my spare time.
Nice.
And I had 1,000 because I just sold my business. I had lots of spare time because I was unemployed. And I wanted $1 million, so I figured that book was written for me.
Wow.
And I attended his $350 weekend seminar and started doing it. A few years later, Bill Nickerson died, and when he died, he had 4 children, and they did not pick up on the copyright of his book and continue it. So the book is out of print today, and you can't get it. Consequently, I wrote my own book, which Sandy has a copy of there, which is only 50 pages, and $15 is what I sell it for, and it's all about what Bill Nickerson taught me about investing in apartments.
Now, are you from originally from San Diego?
No, I was born in Cooter, and everybody wants to know
Where is that?
Cooter is. Cooter is
No
as
guess.
far south as you can go in Missouri,
Oh,
and
okay.
as far east as you can go in Missouri without being in the Mississippi River.
Okay, that helps me know where it is.
You're probably happy to be in San Diego now.
And I am delighted to be from there, about 2,000 miles from there.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for that introduction. And again, it's great to have everybody here. Why don't we get into the show and talk a little bit about, I know you have a book, which is fantastic. I haven't had an opportunity to read that yet. And from what I understand, Sandy, you've already taken advantage of Joe's investment strategies. Is that correct?
That is correct, yeah. I bought my first property and it's exceeding my expectations, so.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. Well, congratulations to both of you. And Phil, I'm sure you're on that bandwagon.
Yeah, I would love to do it and be able to invest in property. And maybe if you don't have quite the funds to do that, I'd like to hear how Joe would recommend.
Well, let's talk about that. Let me just ask you this question, Joe. It says, from what I'm reading here, it says, what does it say? It says, why do they say that apartments are a great investment to prepare for retirement? And before you answer that, are we talking, define apartments versus condos versus townhomes? Are we talking 1 to 4 units or 35 units? What's your definition of investing in an apartment?
Basically, the term that I use in my book mostly is RIP, residential income property.
Okay.
And you may have one condo that is number 101 and the owner lives there, that's not RIP.
Okay.
Number 102 is identical, but somebody is renting, that's RIP, residential income property.
Okay.
But in apartments, usually people refer to apartments as 4 or 5 or larger buildings where multiple families live. You cannot tell the difference between a condominium and an apartment except by the ownership. The buildings look identical, they can be identical, but condos, of course, are individually owned each unit, and apartments are rented.
I see.
Individual unit.
So when you talk about it's a great investment to prepare for retirement, is it ever too late to start?
Well, they told me it was too late in 1975 when I got started. They said rents on 1 bedrooms are already up to $175 a month, and 2 bedrooms are $225. They can't go much higher than that. The apartment units are already selling for $20,000 per unit, so
Wow.
you got in too late, Joe.
Oh, I knew it.
Yeah.
Ah. All right, this show's over then. That's it. I can't. Now you mentioned, you says on your list here, it says you have 3 options to save money. I assume this is from your book. A lot of this information we're talking about.
Yes.
Great. And we'll talk about that book in a little bit. It says 3 options. 1 is savings accounts or bonds. 2 is stocks, and 3 is apartments. Of the 3, obviously you favor investing in apartments.
Yes, savings account today are not even paying enough money to keep up with inflation, so that's a bad investment. And stocks and bonds are stocks are always going up and down, and usually whichever way you need them to be going, they're going the other way.
Sure.
So apartments are a stable investment that you can invest in, and basically since they discovered gold at Fort Sutter in 1848, rental property prices have just gone primarily upwards. Once in a while they flatten out for a while, but even with the foreclosures that we have had, rents have continued to go up in San Diego County because we don't have enough housing. The vacancy rate is down to 4%,
Wow.
and consequently rents are going up a little faster than inflation. They're going up 4 or 5% per year.
So that actually brings up my question about San Diego. I mean, prices are higher in San Diego than other places. Cap rates might be higher in other places. Do you think San Diego County is a good place to invest in?
San Diego County is a great place to invest. We've got 3,200,000 people that live in San Diego County as of today, and the number continues to increase by 20 to 30,000 per year here in San Diego. People see in January and February our football games and golf being on TV, and they're back in the snow country